Anybody jump on that bandwagon? Had it on the screen now for a little bit. Not a bad little 20, 30-cent scalp there. Oh, good morning, YouTube. We are on YouTube, Traveling Trade Adventures. Been kind of slow this morning with news. UOKA back up over 100%. Not bad. And took some IINN. Let me go look at that one again. I want to see where that ended up at. I guess my instincts were right to kind of stay away from that the second time around. Look at the drop on this thing. Now, if it, like I said, if it drops down 70-cent range, I might consider grabbing a little bit more. But again, for just a quick scalp, just 10 cents. If I can get 10 cents out of it, I'd be more than happy. Let's see, UOKA. Let's see if this is still pushing up. Trying to. Vicki, good morning. Scott, good morning. Carrie, good morning. Ezra. EZRA. To acquire control of post-quantum cybersecurity firm in Quantum. Thank you, JR. Let's take a look at it. EZRA. EZRA. Let me check my filters because for some reason I'm not getting a few of these. Use types, fillings. But we'll see if EZRA can continue going up here. It looks like it's got a 8.5 million public float. Not bad. Little 20-cent stock. Looks like it started off around 17 cents. Let's see how she pops off here. EZRA. Why did I not get that? I'm going to have to look a little deeper into my filters here. For some reason, that's two of them now that I didn't get notification. Let's see if this EZRA pops. UOKA now up 103%. VMAR. VMAR Microfloat. Palm City welcomes new Nautical Ventures retail store, supporting over 1,100 tenders sold across the network. Vision Marine. VMAR. VMAR. A marine technology and retail platform Today announced opening of a new Nautical Ventures retail store in Palm City, Florida, marking a milestone of more than 1,100 yacht tenders sold across the Nautical Ventures network. So they have a new store in Palm City, Florida. It's a micro float, but that news is really fluffy. So proceed with caution. EZRA trying to push. It's up to 21. Air E all good morning. Victoria, good morning. Kathleen, good morning. Good morning, good morning. You've got EZRA on the screen here. Let's see what it's going to do. 8.5 million public float, so it's a pretty good float. That's certainly capable of moving nicely with good volume. It's moved about half the float so far. We're sitting at 4.2 million shares traded so far. We just popped up a little bit, 22.5 now. Thank you, Rob. David, good morning. Good to have everybody with us this morning. For Ritters, Ezra. Well, it's not been a terrible climb from 17 to 22, but it look like we're going to get 10 cents out of that. It's possible, I suppose. Let's go take a look at ELTK, the press release from 7:30. ELTK, that was the press release from 7:30, if you'll recall. That was the one that had the new purchase order totaling $12 million. It was at about $8.55, and it just hit 10.60. That's the one I have on the screen right now. And that has a 2.8 million public float, so even better public float there. We'll see. It's hitting Momo too, by the way. 10.49. Let's see if it busts up to 11. In the meantime, we're going to watch for some press releases. We've got about 4 minutes to go. If you can hang with us for a few. Dolls, good morning. DeHalls, I hope I pronounced that right. DeHalls. David, good morning. Let's see if ELTK is going to pop. Pretty small float. Small enough float that it could pop 30, 40 cents at a time. With enough volume. But again, if you miss the entry on it, Probably not worth chasing it. I wouldn't. That's just my humble opinion. UOKA up 104%. Um, 3.5 minutes to go. Hollywood, yes. I'm on Traveling Trade Adventures on YouTube right now. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. ELTK is getting pulled down. She's a struggling. Kind of thought with that float size and the news that it should have popped a long time ago. It shouldn't have waited as long as it did. It waited quite a long time before it moved. A little surprised by that. I thought retail would be all over that one. All right, let's take a look at Ezra. Remember Ezra? EZRA that we mentioned to you. That's the one that JR commented about. It just popped to 23, a little over 23. Let's see what our little ELTK is doing. Is it going to rip to 11? Boy, that'd be a fun little pop to watch. ELTK. Watching all the scanners. Keeping my head on a swivel here. Watching all the scanners. Looking for that first piece of news to jump. ELTK, are you going to 11? Is the volume going to hit at just the right moment and spike it? Ezra, EZRA, hanging in there. All right, 30 seconds to go. And we'll see what we get at 8 o'clock. Fingers crossed. Hope something good pops in there. We need it. I'd like to get a big runner. I want to put my Panama Jack hat on. Get out the cigar. Open another monster. Yeah, that might help. All right, here we got MNTS. Momentus and NASA partner to advance in-orbit servicing. MNTS. MNTS. And NASA partnering. MNTS, 1.3 million public float. MIMI signs a MOU with robotics leader Rice Robotics to pioneer physical AI solutions across Asia. MIMI. That one has a 12 million public float. HUMA, HUMA, announcing new U.S. Department of Defense funding for procurement of bioengineered blood vessels. Interesting. That's on HUMA, HUMA. Big float on that one. Scans is reporting that float at 156 million. All right. Let's see what MNTS is doing. It's up about 48%, floating around. Small float. Let's see if it can pop. Now let's also pull up MIMI. Pulling up and down, up and down, up and down all over the place. FLYX is reporting unaudited results of the fourth quarter and full year of 2025 financials. Unaudited. Let's see. Clinical trial, INAB, HUMA, okay. HUBC, Microfloat. HUBC launches Secure Ride trust infrastructure for the $400 billion plus global rideshare market. That is on HUBC, and it's a microfloat, meaning it has less than 1 million public float. They have it listed at 680,000. So MIMI trying to move back up again. MNTS got the original pop and then the pullback, which is where we're interested. And now let's take a look at HUBC. Microfloat. Let's see how those are doing. We all want to pay attention to microfloats. It's not a signal to go jump in it. That's a signal to go look at it, because we know it's a stock that can really move if it moves. Let's see. Okay, HUBC, AMIX. Head on a swivel here. Just like when you were in the military. Keep your head on a swivel, boys. Let's do her. HUBC. Yeah, we'll try a couple here at 250 on HUBC. And see how that works out. All right. MNTS still pulling down. MIMI pulling down. Ezra pulled down. ELTK pulled down. National Grade Trading Tool Set for retail investors. ELTK, Ezra, MINTS, HUBC. Mint Incorporated, M-I. Boy, it's trying. X 6. Ezra, EZRA, signs a definitive agreement to acquire controlling stake in Post Quantum Subsecurity Company. Look at that, JR. I just got that press release. Isn't that crazy? They were only 40 minutes late. Just now popped up. That is nuts. Better late than never. Yeah, I guess sometimes that can be true. Let's take a look at Ezra, EZRA, see if that's trying to push up. It is trying to push back up. Maybe some people are just seeing this press release for the first time. That could be the case. There might be a few folks just seeing this thing. TK, robotics, hits securities class action. No, nothing there. Ezra at 21, 8, 21, 9, 22. Holding for longer. ELTK. Ezra, 22, a little over 22 now. ELTK. It's trying to go up. It really is trying. Ezra, looks like HUBC's back at 250 again. Ezra at 21.7. All right, we're going to continue waiting to see what press releases pop up here. If you can hang out with us for a little bit longer, we might be able to throw something out there to you that make your day. I hope. Ezra still trying. EZRA, Reliance Global Group. Okay, here's a few more. MNTS 765 to 890. Randy, good job. Randy made a pretty good trade on that. How about Ezra, ELTK, MI, not doing anything interesting. UOKA, nothing. Class action lawsuits. HUBC back at 250 again, holding up at 250. Boy, even Momo's moving really slow today. There hasn't been much out. MNTS getting ready to go boom again, huh? Well, we definitely will watch it. MNTS might go boom again. It went boom from 618 to 922. On their press release. But as you can see, it is pulled down. So maybe it'll boom up again, back up to about 850 or so. That would be pretty sweet. LIMN hitting the scanner. Let's go take a look at that one. It's been a beaut this morning so far. We talked about that one going up this morning early. 170, 175. Up over $2, 213, 216, somewhere in there. Maybe a fuzz higher than that. Been going kind of sideways here since about 7:30. Waiting for HUBC to pop. Let's see, calculate. Let's see. $50. All right. One and only Vicky, good morning and happy Monday. Happy Monday. Yeah, Hollywood. I've seen some of those AI things on Instagram and TikTok. They're pretty pretty crazy how good they are. If they get Turb, 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 TURB. Strengthen its financial position through a long-term bank refinancing restructuring. TURB. 13 million public float. TURB. Let's take a look at it together on our Zoom meeting here. Let's see what it's doing. Spiked up pretty good right on the news, but as you can see, it pulled down, and that's the part we're interested in. We talked about that before. That first 1 minute candle, that massive spike up is done by algos, the algorithms. Those algos are spiking it up on that first 1 minute, and then it's the pullback. This is where the regular people get involved here. This is the part we're looking for. If we're interested in it, this is the part we're waiting on. CMND Microfloat announces additional top-line positive safety results, reinforcing favorable profile of the CMD 100 in a phase 1 clinical trial. CMND Microfloat. The results reinforce no serious adverse events and overall good tolerability, consistent with the favorable results reported from the first cohort. That's on CMND. All right. And supposedly it's a microfloat. Scans has it listed as a microfloat, but as we know, that could be off a little bit. So make sure you double check that with your own sources. Watching CMND here. Byron got Ezra from 20 to 24. ICU announces publication in a pediatric nephrology of positive real-world experience for acute kidney injury. It's on ICU, has a 3.5 million public float. I'm watching. CMND. Three. That. PRZO, MIMN, GC. News, UOKO, WTO. Happy Monday. Monday. Good old Mondays. I used to hate Mondays. Before I started trading, I hated Mondays. I couldn't stand Monday morning. Monday morning meant going back to work. And then when I started trading, I couldn't wait for Mondays because that meant I could start trading again. Love Mondays. JCSE, Let's see what some of these others are doing here. Let's look at Turb. Turb is a turd. Turb turned into a turd. LIMN, still hanging in there. MNTS trying desperately to go back up. UOKA going sideways. Ezra, for those of you that have been following Ezra, EZRA, it's been climbing up fairly nice. It's hanging in there. ELTK. Boy, that thing looks like it wants to go. If that gets volume, I think that'll go up. HUBC. Sitting at 250, 251. Waiting on that one to pop for me. Caprice. Am I reading that right? Caprice, good morning. IPX, Mimi. So what's moving? What is moving at the moment? UK, Ezra. What do you guys got moving on your scanners? What do you got moving on your charts? What's moving up? What's going up, man? Ezra. Good morning, by the way. And thank you for hitting the subscribe button on Traveling Trade Adventures. I appreciate that. TWG. TWG spiked. Came back down. Let me check my NAC. I haven't looked at NAC in a while. Good old NAC. $2. I'll be darned. I am shocked beyond whatever that stock has maintained above $1 as long as it has. I really am. What a shock. I thought for sure after that first big run, when we made all that money on it, that it would fall right back down into the low 20s again. I really did. And the fact that it stayed above $1 so far, as long as it has, is really quite shocking to me. Because it's not even an operational mine. That's the mind-blowing part. Waiting on permitting approval. Yeah, they're not even operating the mine. They've been trying to get that permit for so long, 20 years or something. I might be exaggerating a little bit there, but it seems like it's been about 20 years since they've been trying to get that stupid permit. But it's not even an operational mine. They're not generating any. They haven't broke ground yet, and the stock is still hanging out over $2. It's mind blowing. I thought for sure it would just sink down to nothing that first run. We got that at 23 cents. 23 cents. I got it at 23 cents. We had a bunch of Wolfpack members that got it, my gosh, 20, 25, 26, 27 cents when I kind of brought it to everybody's attention. And it ran all the way to $3. I mean, you talk about a good trade. Took a while. Everybody was holding tight, man. It took a while, but it finally got there. And I thought for sure after that big first run, I think up around around $2.40. I thought after that first big run up to 240, it was going to crash, and it did. And in all fairness, it did crash back down to the low 70s. But I thought it was going to continue, and I was going to wait for it to get back down around 23 to 25 cents and grab a few more again and go for the ride again. But it never quite got there. Let's see. GFAI. GFAI signs a non-binding letter of intent to acquire leading AI-powered speech therapy development platform. It's on GFAI. YYGH announces total assets and net assets per share of $1.11. That's YYGH. Safe Harbor announces extension. February. OGN. Leadership. LPTH receives $9.6 million purchase order for a cooled infrared. Let me start over again. A $9 million order for cooled infrared cameras from an existing defense customer. So $9.6 million order for LPTH. KITT announces a strategic investment and UAE expansion with Master Investment Group. KITT, 12 million public float. So let's take a look at KITT. See how she's doing on that press release. Up, down, up, down. It's going all over the place. ONDS secures a $30 million multi-year demining program in Israel. ONDS. All right, let's go look at MNTS. Boy, it's trying. It is trying. KIT. All right, we'll see if KIT goes back up again. Haven't been getting the really monster press releases here today that I'd like to see. That is for sure. MI 28 to 34. Good job, Bob. Remember what I talked about that initial spike on the press release. Look at it right here. See how high that went? 99 cents all the way to $1.20 almost instantaneously. Shot straight up on the press release. And then what happens after the next minute? The pullback. That's the part we're watching. That's the part you're interested in. If you like the news. That first candle, that FOMO on that first candle will get you every time, just about. It, depending on the news, of course. If the news is really that good, it'll spike on that first 1 minute candle, and then the second and the third and the fourth and the fifth, and it won't stop. But that's on a rare occasion. That's not common. It does happen. And it happens pretty often with really, really great news. But most of the time, you're going to see that first initial pop on that 1 minute candle and then drop, drop, drop. And it could drop for 2 candles, it could drop for 3 candles, it could drop for 4 candles. You're just sitting back being patient and then waiting for it to, if the news is truly good and retail really likes it, it will start to curl back up and it'll start making its way back up again. That's the part you're looking for. That's not financial advice. That's just experience with penny stocks. And if you watch them long enough, you'll start seeing the pattern that I'm talking about. You'll see it happen quite often. You'll see it happen often enough that the light bulb will kind of go off and go, I might adjust my trading style just a little bit. I get a press release here. I'm going to let that first candle spike and then see if it starts pulling down. And if it does, I'm going to wait and see if it starts to curl back up. And you don't even have to take a trade on it. Just use it as a learning experience. Use it for training. Watch how they respond to news sometimes. Use it as a learning tool. $69. Bitcoin dropped down below 70 again. What did it hit as a low here recently? Let me see what we got here. 61. That's where it bottomed out at. Yeah, 68. Why do I have 68? Where did it hit 61? Must have been back. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'm a bit slow. I'm a bit slow. I got it. It's on a free fall. Maybe we'll get something at 8:45. We do get press releases at 8:45. They're generally mostly class action lawsuits most of the time. They seem to like that 8:45 time for lawsuits. I don't know why. But we got a bunch of them at 7 already, so there may not be very many of them at 8:45. I've got KITT up on the screen for a reason. I want you guys to see that pattern that I was talking about. Hopefully it's pretty obvious. Now let's take a look at MNTS. 1 minute chart. Look at it. Spike, pull back down. No clear signs through here of any kind of reversal. Drop back down even further. Now we're starting to get the climb back up, hopefully. HUBC, same thing. Big spike on the news and then the pullback. Now it's going sideways. Just waiting on it to curl back up again. What other one did we have news on? Mimi. MIMI. Look at Mimi. MIMI. Look at the spike. See that first 1 minute candle spike? News comes out. Boom. What does it do? Pulls back. And once it had its drop, once all retail was done selling, everybody that took advantage of the spike, all the little quick day traders, look where it went after. It's a pattern you'll see quite often on those penny stocks. You just have to be watching for it. And I'm sure some of you can attest to the fact that you have jumped in on that first 1 minute candle. The news came out, the FOMO hit, you saw it going up, and you jumped in it quick just in case it keeps going, and only to have it fall back down. And then you're like, dang, what the heck, man? What a pump and dump. Like I said, it doesn't happen on every single press release. Sometimes it'll spike up and it just keeps spiking and spiking and spiking and spiking, and it never seems to want to pull back. It does happen on a really good press release. But after you've been doing it for a while, you realize that that doesn't happen as often as the pattern I'm telling you about, where it spikes on that first candle and then drops back and then starts to climb back up again. And that's the area you're looking for to make your trade. You'll notice that happening far more in terms of percentages, far more often than spike up, spike up, spike up, spike up, and never looking back. You don't see that often. So if you're just thinking about, I want to play the odds here, I want to do, my system needs to be based on what works most of the time, maybe not all the time, but most of the time, I would seriously consider watching for that. And again, don't test it, don't back test it, as they say, with money. Just do an observation. Just do a visual observation. Watch it a few times. Have a day where you say, I'm not going to take any trades. I'm just going to learn today. I'm just going to wait for Jeff to mention the news on something really good. I'm going to watch it go up and then see what it does after that first candle. And I'm going to take some notes and see how often that pattern happens, how often they go up, pull back, and then start their next big, huge climb up. Mimi is my grandma name. They call you Mimi. Mimi. Oh, well, 8:45 so far has given us nothing. Comedy series, No Pain, No Gain premieres with nothing there. Scalp kit from 101 to 106. Quick. Mutter, you got anything on your end that looks like it's trying to climb up here? MNTS is trying. ELT kept, bless its heart, it's hanging in there, but man, it's not looking good. Slow morning. Yes, it is. JR, you got anything that looks interesting? Mark, anybody got anything that looks halfway decent? I'm sure not seeing anything. Nothing that's got me terribly excited. Mimi just popped 44 cents. It's up 68% on that press release. That's not terrible. That's not terrible at all. $0.44. 73%. Take that. We'll take that. As we're coming down. Boy, I'd like to be able to put that hat on this morning for Mimi. Boy, we need something. We need something. Oh, maybe 9 o'clock will do it for us. Going to be some slow days. Last week I thought was going to be the end of that, but it looks like maybe not so much. FRSX. FRX. FRSX. Renault Group in Orange achieved excellent results in a large-scale live public transportation project in France. Seems a bit fluffy, doesn't it? ENTX appoints former Pfizer executive Gino Germano as chairman of the board, ahead of key milestones. That's on ENTX. Look at ONDS. What a beaut. Did anybody grab any of that? everybody take a swipe at it. Scott got a hold of me last week before last. I think it was last week on Messenger and said, "Hey, are you watching ONDS? It's going down, man." Playboy, PLBY, signs a $122 million deal with United Trademark Group to accelerate growth of its China business. Playboy, PLBY. $122 million deal with United Trademark Group. Mimi's hanging in there. Let's see. NTX. X. Oh, I think we're losing people's attention here. There's not much trying to push up. Let's take a look at Playboy real quick. PLBY. Now, what do you notice about that one? You see the pattern that I was talking about? The spike on the first 1 minute candle and then the pullback. That happens more often than you think. And sometimes that pullback will pull it all the way down to where it started, and sometimes even lower than where it started. But that's where the patience comes in. You sit back and you wait. If you really like the news, you wait and wait and wait and wait. If it never reverses, then you haven't wasted a dime on that stock. Oh my goodness. You guys. All right. Let's go back and look at Mimi because I want to be able to put that hat on. It's up 78% now. QS up. QS, QuantumScape, curling, nice, slow, steady grind up here this morning on QS. Come on, Mimi. Where do we got to go here? We're up 78%. on that press release. Boy, we need one that goes 100. Boy, oh boy, do we need one. We should find out what stocks are going to start trading on reverse split this morning. Should find that out here in about 3 minutes. They usually pop up about 9 o'clock for me. Come on, Mimi, give us 100%. You can do it. I know it can do it. Let's see. I want to go look at that ENTX real quick. See how the market's responding to that. Yeah, they didn't respond very well. Spiked initially on the news. As you can see, spiked, pulled back, and it continues to pull back. Thank you, JR. I hear the trash man outside. Six. Mimi. Only up 72% now. We need that thing to go, man. I want that up over 100%. Every run up, it pulls back. Look at every time it ran up. Run up here, pulled back. Run up, pull back. Run up, pull back. Run up, pull back. every spike is getting sold off. 78%. It just can't seem to get over that. All right. Rockets. Mimi's pulling back here. Fuzz. All right. Let's see what 9 o'clock throws out here. Yeah, there is news on CMND. Let me read this other stuff here. For VOYG awarded a $24 million NASA management contract. VOYG. Class action lawsuit, class action lawsuit, class action lawsuit. Wow. Class action lawsuits like crazy. FLWS, which is 1-800-Flowers, and CART, C-A-R-T, which is Instacart. They are teaming up. They are going to spread the love with a nationwide partnership just in time for Valentine's Day. On Richard, on CMND, the news was that they announced additional top line safety results, reinforcing a favorable profile of a drug they've labeled CMD 100 in an ongoing phase 1/2 clinical trial. Today announced additional positive safety top line results of its ongoing FDA approved phase 1 and 2 clinical trial. So it's a bit on the fluffy side. It's not really great strong news, but it's on a micro float, so you always have to pay attention to those. All right. Well, we've got GDXD, Golf Delta, X-Ray Delta, GDXD, coming off of a reverse split this morning. Let's see, XTIA. Mimi getting pulled down pretty aggressively there. $283 to $293. Good job, Bob. Well, I have a feeling that between now and 9:30, it's going to get really slow. Even slower, if you can imagine that. XTIA, XTIA pushing up nicely. XTIA Aerospace expects their fiscal year 26 revenue to exceed $160 million. XTI Aerospace. Been on a nice steady climb since this morning. Nothing dramatic, just a nice slow stair stepping up. Let's see. Bingo, INAB, PRZO, Promoción to see. Symposium. Boy, oh boy. Slow. And I don't think it's going to get much faster between now and 9:30. SXTC trying to push up some. Nice big little pop there. That's listed as a micro float by Scans, SXTC, China SXT Pharmaceuticals. At least that's what they have it listed at. 547,000. SXTC. Let's see if it breaks 5. See if it spikes up real quick to 5, from 420 to 5. That would be sweet. It already spiked to 470. It still can spike. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. Well, PFSA also coming off a reverse split this morning. Looks like that SXTC is going to pop. It sure looks like it wants to. We are up to 49 degrees so far in Central Florida. Sunny and 49. Temperatures going up a little bit. It's supposed to hit 75 today as a high. Boy, that'll be welcome. I will welcome 75 for sure. Wow. Yeah, I hope it's not another entire week of Friday type news. This has been, all last week was pretty lackluster. We had a couple of good ones, without a doubt. There was a couple that ran up real nice, and we made some good trades. But it wasn't like when it was in January. January was hot. January was hot with press releases. That was something. That was monumental. This month so far, been kind of slow. Maybe they got them all out of the way in January and ran out of good ones. I don't know. SXTC still trying to push back up. Is it going to blow up past 5? It's up 39%. If that float is correct, that could pop to 5 in seconds. If that is correct. I'm waiting to say boom. Wow, it was minus 24 yesterday. Holy cow. That's a special kind of cold. I'm glad I'm not in that. Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for hanging out. Hanging out with us this long. As slow as it's been. I know it's brutal. Sometimes you just have to put the Zoom meeting on the side and just listen and just not pay a whole lot of attention to it sometimes until you hear everybody getting excited. It's just not much. And I had really high hopes for Monday too. I was really hoping today was the day that we were going to get us a banger and it was really going to go crazy. Everybody would get excited again. And so far, we haven't gotten it. But there's after hours today. After hours, 4 o'clock. Don't forget, I'll be on live at 4 o'clock again on Zoom. And press releases come out in after hours too. So we still have hope for Monday. We could still get us a nice big runner today. And if not this afternoon, we'll try again tomorrow morning. We never give up. Let's see what MNTS trying to curl back up. Steve, you have a great day. It's like watching grass grow. Yeah, you're right. It sure is. Just nothing's moving. Everything's just real quiet. I think CMND could go up at market open. HUBC could too. They're both micro floats, and I never count them out. I never bet against a micro float. I know better. Obviously, I don't know if it's going to go up or down, but I don't bet against it for sure. And definitely would keep a tight leash on them, though, because they are micro floats. You know they can drop just faster than they go up sometimes. So if you're in it and you plan to hold it, I definitely would keep a very, very tight leash on that thing. And the second it drops to, you pick a spot. BFRI announces positive results in a phase 3 study. BFRI. Positive results in a phase 3 study. BFRI, positive results on a phase 3 study, 9 million public float. It's a study of Amul's PDT for actinic, actinic, I think that's how you pronounce it, keratosis on the extremities, neck and trunk, meeting primary endpoint. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go up. I read it as really great news, but the market may respond differently. I've seen positive results meeting all primary endpoints on a cancer drug and watched it plummet. So the market is a weird, wacky place. LRHC, a micro float, is saying that they have eliminated $5.5 million in convertible debt. So that's pretty good news for them. LRHC. We're going to see how this BFRI pans out. I was just talking about no news and how slow it was, and we're got to keep our hopes up. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, it wasn't even on the half hour. It was 9:15. Boom. Positive phase 3 safety results meeting all primary endpoints out of the blue. On a 9 million public float. Couldn't ask for better other than maybe a micro float. That would have been nice. Just get me up to about $9.20 or $1.25 and I'll be more than happy. We'll see where it goes. Going to keep a tight leash on it, obviously. Reposition ourselves if we need to. Boom. All right. Let's reposition ourselves if we need to. And by that, I mean if it drops down to the buy-in and maybe just a fuzz on there, I take the sell order. And if it drops, I reposition again for the next push up. If you like the news, if you really like the news. $98 to $109. Bob, quick in and out. Wow, good job. This thing can't quite make up its mind, can it? It's all over the place. The study findings met its primary endpoint and showed highly statistically significant superiority. Actinic keratosis is the most common skin condition diagnosed by U.S. dermatologists. If left untreated, that condition may progress to squamous cell carcinoma. And they've got significant top-line results meeting all primary endpoints on a phase 3 on that drug. So my confidence is in the press release. Whether it be founded or not, I don't know. But if it can get to 125, I'll be more than tickled to death. 9:22, not too much longer here, about 7.5 minutes, and the market will open. Where will it go? Who knows? Nine 9.3 million public float, so it's got a really good float. I like them under 10. Love them under 10. So that this is got a good setup. We'll see. We got a tight leash on it now. Don't ever forget that. Don't get lost in the, oh, this thing could run today. I'm gonna hold tight, hold tight. Don't get lost in that thinking and watch it drop below your buy-in and just drop and drop and drop. Be smart. Manage. Sometimes trading's more about managing your losses than it is your gains. I know that sounds backwards, but you got to manage them losses. It's important. Don't get so caught up in the hype of something running that you forget to cut it when it needs to be cut. Reposition yourself if you need to. Cut it. Because you just never know how far down it will go. NRGV, Energy Vault, and Peak Energy announced a strategic development agreement. IMPP announces a $10 million share repurchase program. IMPP. Don, you have a great day. Maybe a little too close to market open for people to buy right now. People a little bit nervous about buying in this close to open just in case it drops. So we may not see a ton of volume here in the next 4.5 minutes. Could be a little bit slow. I think people are pretty nervous on this one. You've got very lackluster movement, nothing dramatic. Not a ton of volume on positive phase 3 results. People are nervous. People just aren't quite sure what to do with this one yet. But the market makers will show you what it's going to happen at 9:30. When they start flushing orders, it's going to get crazy. You'll have a pretty good idea where this one's going pretty quickly when the market opens. I hope you guys all have a great day of trading. If you continue trading throughout the day, manage those losses quick, cut them quick, and be very cautious. Wait for your setup. Wait for a good setup. out on BFRI. Going to reposition. Watching price action. A lot of people trying to get in there. I'm one of them. All right, I'm going to wait. It's too close now. It's too close to open. Not taking the trade. Took a 5-penny loss on it. But not going to take the trade till the market opens. My gut's telling me right in here is the spot to do it, but it's too close. All right. New order ticket set up for regular trading hours. Watching it really, really close here. Watching it really close. We're going to have to continue watching. Just continue to watch. If it wants to fall, just keep letting it fall. Don't try to catch the bottom. Don't make the mistake of thinking you know exactly where it's at. All right. Well, you guys have a great day of trading. I'm going to continue watching BFRI, see how that thing pans out. I'll keep my eyes on HUBC and CMND as well. We'll wait to see if BFRI is going to reverse. If it is, and it starts to climb, maybe take the trade. All right. You guys have a good day. Thank you on Traveling Trade Adventures for popping in and staying with me as long as you have this morning. Unfortunately, there wasn't too much. I think BFRI is pretty good news, and we'll definitely take the trade on it when it goes. So you guys have a great day, and I'll see you in after hours at 4 o'clock. All right. You guys all have a good one.